feasting through Eastertide is rare. Most secular people think the odds of laughing in a church are about as great as the odds of laughing at the puns on their notice boards. We have a Via Dolorosa, or Way of Sorrows, but despite the fact that Jesus scorned the shame of crucifixion for the joy set before him, no Via Laetitia, or Way of Joy. Many still pray as miserable sinners, despite the word's change in meaning from wretched, in need of mercy, to unhappy, gloomy. It can be self-fulfilling. Our art and music represent Jesus as sad and suffering far more than as triumphant and risen. More than a few cathedrals and churches would suggest to an uninitiated visitor that the hero of all those stained glass windows and sculptures, inscriptions and crypts was tragically dead rather than gloriously alive. When the risen Christ is represented at all, and I'm not saying he should be, but that's another story, he is usually lifting his hands in front of him and gazing to heaven, which looks to modern people like he is shrugging his shoulders and giving the disciples an eye roll, and that doesn't help either. Depictions of hell, from Dante to Botticelli, are often far more vivid than depictions of heaven. Even in our moments of high celebration, the minor key pops up in the most unexpected places, including numerous Magnificats. My soul magnifies the Lord, and my spirit rejoices in God my Saviour. And Easter hymns. Let the church with gladness hymns of triumph sing, with the word sing receiving the lowest and gloomiest chord of all, serving as an accidental parody of our struggle to be unequivocally happy about something. The happiest songs can lose their edge through something as mundane as punctuation, as a call to uproarious merriment at Christmas. God rest ye merry, gentlemen, becomes a prayer for the happy guys to sit on the sofa and take it easy. God rest ye, merry gentlemen. Our most recognizable symbol is the cross or the crucifix, rather than the circle of moved stone and empty tomb. It is as if the Western Church has been playing a very one-sided game of tic-tac-toe. Some strands of contemporary Christianity, put off by this air of melancholy, have swung to the opposite extreme. Consumer-friendly churches can attract people with a spirituality in which there is no room for sorrow whatsoever. Suffering is regarded as an aberration. Immediate solutions are prized, physical, financial, psychological, spiritual, with faithful waiting seen as decidedly second best. Long-term sick people are treated with a mixture of bafflement and impatience. Fasting is the preserve of a few unusually passionate individuals. There is little space for Lent, lament, or lamentations. Funerals are given the boot and replaced with celebrations or services of thanksgiving. The Book of Psalms is trimmed until only the celebratory psalms are left. Hymns that reflect on the sufferings of Christ are replaced by anthemic and often anemic crowd pleasers that, if they make space for grief at all, do so in two cross-centered lines in the penultimate verse before the rhythm section kicks in. Sermons promise a trouble-free lifestyle that would be unattainable, if not incomprehensible, to most Christians in history. Silence may not be kept. What is fascinating and strangely encouraging about all this is that both of these, admittedly cartoonish, traditions go against the grain of Christianity. The normal condition of the Christian life, as the Apostle Peter explains, is one of inexpressible and glorious joy, in spite of the fact that we are also grieved by many kinds of trials. We do not ignore the realities of sadness and suffering, but we stubbornly proclaim that they do not have the last word. The kingdom is here. Good Friday ushers in Easter Sunday, and death is swallowed up by life. This, from the resurrection onward, has given Christians a paradoxical way of responding to the brokenness of the world. So Paul and Silas spend a night in the stocks, in an age when that meant muscular agony rather than damp sponges, and hymns reverberate through the cells until an earthquake destroys the prison. 18 centuries later, in the same spirit, African slaves stand enchained in cotton fields and sugar plantations, singing the songs of Zion until deliverance comes. Christianity stares death in the face and sings anyway. We are, in Paul's terms, sorrowful, yet always rejoicing. This is modelled on Jesus. He is the one the apostles got it from.